I wanted to finish
Gabby,
off this
dude,
episode
I'm excited.
with a little bit of Would You Rather. Because why not,
Yes.
right? We
Would
are
you rather?
in a time right now in the NFT market where there's been a lot of shakeups. Some floor prices have fallen disproportionately to others. And you have a lot of projects that are kind of sitting at the same level where they typically haven't been in the past. And I think that it is a pretty interesting conversation to have, right? Now, in saying so, it doesn't mean that we are buying this and participating in the Would You Rather, but it's kind of just a thought exercise as to what you can be bullish on compared to something else. So the first one I wanted to bring out was something that I just mentioned. Kevin Rose very bullish on, and that is the Chromie Squiggles. For those of you who have been living under a rock, Chromie is by Snowfro, who started the art blocks collection, right? Like he is the person behind art blocks, and this is typically regarded as probably one of the most
Th-
important generative art
This is
collections.
the inaugural Art
It is
Blocks
the
drop.
inaugural art blocks one. It is
This
sitting at
started it
right
all.
now, we're just going to round up to a 12 ETH floor, up from about 6 ETH a couple months ago. They have been moving, and this is on the logo of a professional soccer team over in Europe, right? Like this is on their
This is the
jersey.
Art Blocks logo
It's
too.
the art blocks logo, and they look pretty damn cool, right? Could totally see this on the wall of some bougie mansion or something like that, or maybe there one day. I wanted to pit this one up against something completely different. Mutant Apes, who are sitting at about a 13 and a half ETH floor, right? So not exactly the same, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to say roughly the same price. Mutant Apes obviously ran up to, I think, 30 or 40 ETH during that Yuga run, where Bored Apes went to about 130 ETH floor, touching back on that, the derivative, about 25% of that, 30% maybe at the time. 20K collection, so a little bit bigger than Chromie Squiggles, well, double the size, but not Bored Apes, but one of Yuga's preeminent collections, and widely regarded as the kind of affordable little brother entrance into the Yuga ecosystem. So you have the choice between a Chromie Squiggle and a Mutant Ape, and you can choose this for any reason you want, even if it's simply I like looking at them more. I think it's going to make me more money. I'd rather hang it on my wall. I think it's going to be more important. Drip, what do you think? A Chromie Squiggle or a Mutant Ape Yacht Club?
I'm going Squiggle all day. I've always loved Chromie Squiggles. It's always been on the horizon. If I'm going to drop that amount of money, I'm probably looking to not necessarily not lose it. Obviously, I never want to lose it, but I'm saying I'm not looking to trade it. So I'm not looking for a flip. I'm not looking for something to make me a ton of money. I mean, like if that happens too, would I ever say no? Of course not. But I also hate apes. I think they're the ugliest things ever.
The
Or the
mutants
mutant
or just
apes, I
in
should say.
general?
The mutant apes, no, mutant apes specifically. I've always hated them. I can't stand looking at them. They're gross to me. I wouldn't want to look at this. And then like if that's also the other thing too is if I spent this much on it, I'd want to show it off, and I would not want this to be my PFP ever.
Yeah, that's fair. Like you're hosting a dinner party and people are like, "Oh, how's that NFT stuff that you're doing?" And you're like, "Check out this ape that I just bought."
Check this out. Check out this thing.
Well, okay, so interesting question then. What do you think your dinner guests would choose then if they were like tasked between a Chromie Squiggle, which, if you don't understand the historical relevance of it, might be a little bit
Mm,
underwhelming. Like it's just this like little bouncy
could be.
line.
A lot of people don't know you're actually so like when you pull it up, you're supposed to click on it and then it dances.
It is true. A lot of people don't know that these are
Um,
animated.
yeah, I mean, I think if people didn't know the difference between them in sense of like what it represents, I think people would probably just pick the more expensive one because, like, I mean, I guess if they have to spend the money, maybe not, but I don't know. Like value wise, I still think like trade wise, I think the mutant's a better trade. Like you'll make more money off the mutant collecting wise. Squiggle all day, and that's I would want a squiggle in my collection. Absolutely,
Short term, I have a hard time disagreeing with you, but I think if you buy a Squiggle and throw it in the vault, I think that if you look back on that in 10 years,
I
probably
agree.
That's
Yeah.
a long time horizon, and that actually does kind of fit a long-term investment type time horizon, despite NFT
Mhm.
DEGENS telling you that a week is a long term. But Dirty Milk, go for it.
Um, I have zero desire of just like holding JPEGs. So from like the trader in me would definitely pick a mutant, just because I think having exposure to that ecosystem, the access that you get, there's a lot of opportunity for other projects. If you hold them through like whitelists and stuff like that. So I would go ape all day. I think the squiggles are cool. I have zero desire of holding anything long enough like that, as long as I think that I would need to hold that in order to take a proper profit on. Yeah, I don't know. I still have a hard time just wrapping my head around, like, I don't collect like at all. I have zero desire to ever collect. If I'm frank, there's not a ton of projects that have like really made me stoked as far as like the art side. And if anything, I would just convince myself that I like the art because I'm holding it.
So you don't even have like a little bag that you're holding for like the 5 year, 10 year. I'm dying with this and leaving it in my will kind of thing. Like,
I mean, I have some like vaulted stuff, but it's like it's not even anything that at this point is like. At this point, I just like haven't sold it because it's like not worth the.
so you're talking about your hidden folder then?
No,
No,
not
I'm kidding.
necessarily.
I'm
I
kidding.
do have like a vault, but like at this point, a lot of it's just stuff that is like friends projects I'm associated with that I can't
Yeah.
sell. Like, um, yeah, I don't really have any desire to hold stuff ever, but so I would take a mutant any day with the intention of flipping or the intention of just utilizing the exposure it gives me to the ecosystem. Chromies are cool. Don't get me wrong. I think that like what they've done is cool. The historical aspect is cool. I have just never traded that way.
That's fair.
I feel weird holding stuff for like a week, if I'm honest.
I have all kinds of stuff in my hidden folder that I was like, yes, this could be relevant in the future. Like, I'm just gonna leave it in there for a little bit and check back on it. In
I
5
do
years.
have some generative stuff in there, but it's like stupid and nothing
I
will
have,
probably ever happen to it.
I have some pieces I straight up bought just to collect. I knew they would never make me money, but like I genuinely just liked them. I
Yeah,
was like, I want this.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I just would never. I
Yeah.
get that people do that though. I just don't.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very conflicted with this, but I do think that I would go with the Chromie squiggle.
Ooh, Chloe.
I do really see a frame purchase in my future. You know, like I do
Mhm.
want like an NFT frame that I can put somewhere in my apartment and start to show off some of the things that I've collected. Even if, as Drip Cult said, like I liked the way it looked, I don't think it's going to, be a moonshot later. And I didn't pay a particular amount, but there is actually a lot of great art out there in NFT form that you could buy for like 0.01, 0.02. Maybe it's never relevant. Maybe it's never worth more than that, but still would look pretty good hanging on the wall. I think Chromie is one of those ones that, like, if you stash it away for 20, 30 years and this all goes where you think it's going to go, it's going to be the equivalent of like, oh shit, you have a Jackson Pollock or something like that. Maybe, maybe not
Be like a
quite.
Fidenza.
Yeah. Well, Fidenzas are a whole nother. Fidenzas are fucking sweet too, though.
There's a new project coming out soon.
Tyler
Like
Hobbs.
another week.
That Tyler
Yeah,
Hobbs. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He does some pretty cool stuff too. Um, we'll talk about Fidenza one. I don't have that lined up in the Would You Rather. The next Would You Rather is two projects. One that is down a lot from its all-time highs, and one that has gone on a bit of a tear. Everyone's favorite success story: Pudgy Penguins against formerly of oh shit, I'm Larva Labs, now of Yuga Labs, Meebits. Meebits is often not talked about very much, but it was, the successor to the CryptoPunks, sitting at about a 3.5 ETH floor. Pudgy Penguin sitting at about a 3 ETH floor, was about 3.5 the other day, so we will just call them the same and just do the rounding up thing again. Meebits or Pudgy Penguins? Dirty Milk.
Oh, um, I don't know a ton about Meebits.
I find this one interesting just because Meebits has, or sorry, Pudgy Penguins has like just gone on their run, right? So this is a bit of a different dynamic in terms of someone like yourself taking one of these because of the trading aspect of it.
Are Meebits, are they the one that like supposedly predated punks or something?
No,
Or is that
no,
an
No,
no.
what am I thinking of? Then I don't know. I'd probably just go Pudgy for the fact that I just think that they have a lot of hype around them right now, for like a shorter term flip. But I just don't know much about Meebits, if I'm honest. So
Yeah,
I just
Meebits
go
was
Pudgy.
what Larva Labs is kind of like metaverse ready avatar, that they wanted to put out there. Bunch of different styles. There's like the elephants and the pigs and like the humans and like all of that stuff. So again, a bit of more of a historical project, but I look at these sometimes and think like, man, those look terrible, and then sometimes I'm like, they're actually kind of cool.
I remember these looking a lot worse. Now I'm looking at the
Right?
Meebits.
Yeah. Like I thought that too. I pulled them up recently, and I was like, not as bad as I remember.
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't like for me, my initial thought was absolutely Pudgy, like if no ifs, ands, or buts, but I don't know if Yuga, I feel like Yuga has so many other properties and things they're gonna want to promote and or um, explore, but before Meebits that is. But at the same time, if they're really pushing other side, I mean, you got punks, you got Meebits, you got apes that all work in there. So I don't know, but Pudgy's can't rule Pudgy's out. Again, I talked about this in the newsletter and I brought it up to you guys. Like if Pudgy's can kind of bridge the gap and move into, the real world and they can, target that, children's demographic, like they can really rake it in. There's so much money to be made there. Like parents are always going to be spending on kids and these are cute enough where kids will like them, especially if they can follow like the toy. They have that children's book that just is coming out. They have the toys that are coming out, if not out already. I can't remember. But man, if they can tap into that, the revenue stream from that is going to be next level. I don't know if it'll be as much as Yuga per se, but I don't know if there's going to be any point in holding a Meebits. I'm not sure. I'm very torn right now, actually.
Yeah, I'm taking the Meebits as exposure to not only Yuga Labs at this point, but also Larva Labs. And I know that they're not associated with the project anymore, but Larva is going to go down as like one of the OGs in the NFT industry. And again, I think that I always view these through the lens of a longer time horizon. Um, it's been fun watching Pudgy Penguins come back. It's a good story. They've definitely had a couple of moments now, and I do think that they're probably in a position where their longevity is secured more than like a Cool Cats or something like that, who just again time and time again just can't seem to get off the mat and shake their demons. Whereas Pudgy Penguins has kind of gone through a lot, and the community has really rallied behind it. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I think as Drip Cult said, like leaning into the idea that they're cute and like maybe this is something that kids want. I don't know. I don't know how that all plays out because we haven't really hit that paradigm yet where it's just like I'm gonna buy this for my 4-year-old or something, right? Like, but
I think they passed the test. Like if you saw a Pudgy, if a random person saw a Pudgy Penguin on the shelf, like that thing is cute enough to be like, oh, I'll get this for my kid. Like not they don't care that it's an NFT. They don't care how it started. They don't care about the history. Like if you like a shelf test for that, like 100%, I could see parents or even kids being like, that's cute. I like that. Give me that. Buy now.
fair. Yeah, I guess the
I'm gonna
thing
go Pudgy Penguins.
yeah, I think you
I
just
guess
talked yourself into that,
Pudgy Penguins.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the thing about Meebits is just that like they're out there, they do exist, they have existed, and they don't. You know, you could be bearish on Yuga wanting to do anything with them, but I don't think that Yuga needs to do anything with them. Like it's just a complete collection that's out there and exists, and sure, it's under the Yuga umbrella. So if they decide to push it or incorporate it into more of what they're doing, then it's a
Do you think
bonus. But
do you think they'll open up skins like selling Meebits or punks or whatever as skins, kind of like how Fortnite, because Fortnite is just the king of collabs and just like bringing in new IP into their universe and just like making so much money off of just selling skins.
I think it'd have to be somebody's famous's like
Yeah,
ape or something like that.
the Eminem Bored Ape, all of a
Oh,
sudden
yeah.
running around.
I think that would be like cool,
Because he
but
would
I
get
don't know.
I think he would get a cut of the sales of that too.
It'd be a way to people
I can't
for people to
imagine that, like,
monetize.
you know, every time someone buys an Iron Man skin in Fortnite, that like Marvel doesn't get their cut. Like, I'm sure they do, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be interesting. When Fortnite Bored Ape skin, that's got to be somewhere on the
That
horizon.
That has
didn't
to.
even think of that.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw. Oh, it's September. I was gonna say before the end of the year. I'd say within a year's time. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Bored Ape skin in Fortnite.
I can
I think.
guarantee you that conversation has happened.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Especially
Absolutely.
considering I don't like. I mean, other side looks like it's built on the Unreal Engine as well. Just as far as the movements and everything. Is that, or did they create their own engine?
I think it's Unreal though.
Cool.
That's a quick Google search away.
Mhm.
All right, let's move into the last Would You Rather before we wrap this episode up. This is a more high-priced purchase, but, you know, we're putting all of our liquidity on the line, and we are putting up another Larva Labs special, the CryptoPunk, sitting at a 65 ETH floor right now, versus the aforementioned Proof Collective, sitting at a 60 ETH floor, rounding up for the sake of ease there. Proof Collective, 1,000 piece collection. It gets you into the very distinguished, very esteemed Kevin Rose Proof Discord with access to some of the biggest and brightest minds and artists in the NFT space. CryptoPunks, it's just no G. I don't know that it needs any introduction. It exists. They're a complete collection. They were at one point the preeminent NFT collection in the entire world. And I don't think that there's any doubt that they're going to go away. Are you buying a CryptoPunk or are you buying a Proof Pass? Trip.
Oh, Proof Pass. Yeah.
That
I
was
want Proof
quick.
Pass. Yeah, I don't have to think about it. I don't really care about CryptoPunks anymore. Yeah, like you said, like I remember when I first got into NFTs, like the holy grail was a CryptoPunk. Now I could care less. I don't know what Yuga is going to do with them. I'm sure for people who hold it, it's going to work out well, but like I think you'll get paid out way more just holding a Proof Pass and having access to that Discord, even though like I mean, like we all know what happens in the Discord. It's not really like some crazy alpha group. It's mostly just like rich dudes talking about rich things. But
There's an
there's
insane
still a
level
lot
of
of people.
access, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like networking and having access to some of those people, it definitely helps. But like for the most part, it's not you're not missing out much in there from what I've heard. But yeah, mainly Proof Pass because of what's happening in the proof world, what's coming, and then like just Kevin Rose is gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, the closer I can get to Daddy Kevin, I mean, the better. So I'm going Proof all day.
I think if you had asked me this 2 weeks ago, I probably would have picked CryptoPunks just like immediately. It's really hard to discount the relevance and the importance of that collection, as much as like I don't think that it's the most spectacular art or anything like that. I mean, the list of holders of CryptoPunks is pretty spectacular as well. But yeah, lately again, like going down the Kevin Rose rabbit hole and listening to him talk, the people that he speaks to, the thought process and all of that stuff, and now the funding that they've raised and what they have on the horizon. Yeah, and Proof Collective is I think just continually WGMI all the way around, right? And I think that if there's any group of people that know how to continually and perpetually deliver value to their holders, it's really hard to bet against that. So I'm with you three, or you two,
I think
on this.
Yeah, I think CryptoPunks is still a great investment. Like if you were to buy one, you're not going to be bummed by any means. I mean, like they're still going to have something going on with them. I'm not sure what Yuga is going to do with them, but like, I mean, the value is probably not going to go to zero. So
No, there
I
is too much
definitely-
underlying desire for these. Like, there will be a floor price that, like, is just an automatic buy
Mhm.
for people.
I mean, most people still think it's the first ever NFT project.
Yeah.
I was gonna kind of touch on that same. Like, if you're buying for a flex, a punk is definitely a better way to go for people that aren't in the space. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
you're not gonna PFP a proof pass.
I can't see these ever going below 50 ETH again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just think there's too many people that are flush with ETH that have such a low dollar cost basis to that Ethereum that, like, if these just drop, they'll just be like, yeah, I'll pick up one. Yeah, I'll buy another one. Like, you know what I mean? I can't see them ever going that low. Proof, I could see it. Not like super hard, but and I think it would be a pretty sharp bounce back up. But in terms of just like deliverables and what's coming up next, I think that proof, until proven otherwise, is winning. You know.
100%.
Agreed.